Psychologically, the brain is wired to protect itself from emotional pain. When faced with harsh or inconvenient truths, the brain employs various cognitive biases that make it easier to accept falsehoods. One such bias is confirmation bias, the tendency to search for, interpret, and recall information that confirms one's pre-existing beliefs. Lies are appealing because they often align with what people already believe or want to believe, creating a feedback loop that reinforces false narratives. By contrast, the truth can be jarring as it forces individuals to revise their beliefs, often leading to emotional discomfort and mental strain. The 18th century philosopher Immanuel Kant argued that truth is a moral imperative, yet even Kant acknowledged the human tendency to avoid it. He famously said, "Out of the crooked timber of humanity, no straight thing was ever made," alluding to the imperfections and frailties inherent in human nature that make the acceptance of truth a difficult endeavor. The appeal of lies also lies in their simplicity. Truth by its very nature is complex, multifaceted, and often requires deep contemplation to fully understand. Lies, however, are typically straightforward and easy to grasp. The philosopher Plato addressed this in the Republic, where he discussed the power of falsehoods to control the masses. Plato suggested that lies are easier to communicate and believe because they appeal to base desires and simplify the complexities of life. He noted that false words are not only evil in themselves, but they infect the soul with evil. Plato understood that falsehoods can take root in the psyche, corrupting one's sense of reality and morality. Yet they remain tempting because they provide clarity in a world filled with ambiguity. This preference for simplicity over complexity is also why lies are so effective in the realm of social conditioning and propaganda. Lies, when repeated often enough, become embedded in the collective consciousness, gaining the weight of truth through sheer repetition. This phenomenon, known as the illusory truth effect, shows that people tend to believe information they hear repeatedly even if it's false. Voltaire, with characteristic wit and insight, once stated, lie, until the lies become the truth," capturing the insidious power of repetition to transform fiction into accepted reality. The social aspect of belief is crucial here. When a lie is widely accepted, individuals are less likely to question it, because to do so would require going against the grain of collective opinion. Moreover, fear plays a significant role in why people gravitate toward lies. Humans are naturally fearful of uncertainty, mortality, and the unknown, and lies often provide comforting answers to these existential fears. Conspiracy theories, for instance, are appealing, not because they are based on evidence, but because they offer simple explanations for complex events. They satisfy the human desire for meaning and control in a chaotic world. The truth, by contrast, can be unsettling because it often highlights the randomness or unpredictability of life. Mark Twain's famous observation rings true here. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. Once people have accepted a lie, especially one that comforts their fears or desires, they become emotionally invested in maintaining it. The emotional comfort that lies provide is a key reason they persist. Lies often cater to people's deepest desires, whether for power, validation, or a sense of purpose. They allow individuals to project a certain image or live a certain narrative that aligns with their self-perception. In the words of Friedrich Schiller, deception is a mask worn by men who cannot face the naked truth. Lies offer a way to shield oneself from the vulnerability that comes with accepting the truth about one's limitations or failures. In contrast, the truth often strips away these masks, leaving the individual exposed and vulnerable, which is why it is often resisted. Philosopher Soren Kierkegaard explored the existential difficulty of accepting truth, especially in relation to faith and personal authenticity. He famously wrote, "There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true, the other is to refuse to believe what is true." For Kierkegaard, self-deception was one of the greatest dangers to the human spirit because it prevents individuals from living authentically. Yet, the lure of lies remains strong because they protect the ego from the harshness of reality and the fear of the unknown. This existential avoidance of truth reflects the fragility of human consciousness, which is constantly balancing the tension between desire and reality, delusion and authenticity. Modern psychology offers further insights into why people are prone to believe lies. Research has shown that dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward, plays a role in the brain's acceptance of lies. When people hear information that aligns with their desires or beliefs, dopamine is released, reinforcing the lie as something pleasurable or rewarding. This biological response helps explain why people are more likely to believe comforting lies over uncomfortable truths. The brain is essentially wired to seek out information that feels good even if it's not true. Lies, when they appeal to this reward system, become ingrained, making it harder for individuals to later accept the truth. In the end, the preference for lies over truth is not just a psychological quirk but a deeply philosophical issue that speaks to the human condition. It reflects the tension between comfort and discomfort, between simplicity and complexity, and between illusion and authenticity. To believe in lies is in many ways to shield oneself from the full weight of existence, to avoid the intellectual and emotional labor required to confront reality as it truly is. As Oscar Wilde said, the truth is rarely pure and never simple. Lies may offer temporary comfort, but they ultimately rob individuals of the deeper, more meaningful understanding that only truth can provide. Lies may seduce the mind with their simplicity and emotional appeal, but truth, however, remains the path to genuine freedom and enlightenment. As Kierkegaard warns, self-deception is a trap that prevents true personal growth, and it is only by facing the uncomfortable truths of life that one can live authentically.